Congressman, I'll cut right to the chase. Our listeners want to know why.
Well, you know, which is common practice in Washington. You get these 1,600-page bills, and you know, there's things in it that every single one of us can look in and say, "Boy, I can't support that." But then at the same time, you look through it and you say, "Wow, this is pretty good for Pennsylvania, pretty good for my district, pretty good for the country." And at the end of it, you got to weigh the good and the bad, and what do I get if I don't vote for it? What happens if I do vote for it? And that's the truth and the reality of what we're faced with. And the reason for that is because Washington is so dysfunctional that they've gotten out of regular order. And what that means, Dave, is that these bills, these appropriation bills, are supposed to go through committees, get passed, and then come up as a single bill so that the American people can see it and understand it. Well, the Senate has not passed these appropriation bills for so long that we're now forced to what they call these omnibuses, where it's a package of appropriation bills to fund the government all at once. And that's how we get these 1,600-page bills. We're trying to change that in the House. We went through regular order in the House, passed each bill separately, but are forced to do this. Hopefully, when we get a Republican Senate, they'll get back to regular order where these bills will come up and they won't be these Christmas tree, so to speak, bills that we're faced with. So let's get to the bill.
Congressman, wait a minute, just a second, though. You used the word hopefully. I don't think a lot of your constituents, at least the ones who are reaching out to me this morning, are hopeful that that will happen.
Well, we have a Republican Senate, and Mitch McConnell has pledged that he is going to get the Senate back to regular order, and you know, I believe that that's what needs to be done. You know, it's out of our control in the House, but you know, we believe that he will. And we're going to continue to do it, and hopefully these bills will come up one at a time where we'll be able to see it, debate it, and see everything that's in it.
All right, Congressman, after it passed, and folks, we're talking to Congressman Lou Barletta, and I have to tell you, I appreciate the fact that even though you had to take a very, very tough vote, I know this had to be a difficult vote, that you're coming on the show, knowing that your constituents are, many of them, very, very upset with you. Congressman, Speaker Boehner said that, quote, last night, it's a good bill. Do you agree?
Depends what page you're looking at. You know, I'll point out the good things that are in it, and we can't deny it. It's very good for Pennsylvania. It amends Dodd-Frank, and that will help Pennsylvania farmers. It'll protect the farmers from putting down excessive collateral to get loans to expand their businesses, their farms, or keep their farms. That's very important. It'll stop the EPA from regulating mud puddles. You know, that was something that I railed on, where EPA has gotten out of control. This will be the 5th straight year that we have reined in EPA. We have now cut their funding 21%, and this bill brings their staffing down to 1989 levels. It's the lowest level of staffing for the EPA since 1989. It also stops them from regulating lead in ammunition, which prevents, you know, us from being able to go to Walmart to buy ammunition and fishing tackles. So it reins in EPA. It reins in the IRS. It cuts funding for the IRS. There are things in it that are very important to our military, like Toby Hanna and the Army War College. There's no denying there are things in here that are very good and very important to Pennsylvania. Now, there's things in there that are terrible, and you know, I'm not going to defend them. But at the end of the day, you know, think for me, as you know, the immigration issue is very, very important. And I was very disappointed, and I told the speaker that personally, that I was very disappointed that we never had an opportunity to vote, even if it wouldn't pass. And we know it would never have passed the Senate. We have to be realistic. Harry Reid will never sign on to anything that Lou Barletta wants when it comes to immigration.
Of course.
I understand that. But I wanted an opportunity to do it, to vote on, to defund his executive action. That never happened. We never got the chance to do that.
So, Congressman, you know, what a lot of your constituents, and certainly I believe, is that you won't get a chance next year either, because it seems like the fix was in on this. Page 958, 959, you talk about specifics, bad things in the bill, talks about Social Security benefits and doesn't exclude all these illegal immigrants that Obama is about to amnestize. Doesn't that mean they're going to be getting Social Security benefits and that your constituents are going to have to compete not only for jobs with illegal immigrants, but for their own Social Security benefits?
Well, that's that's exactly the arguments we were making. And here, I'm going to give you behind the scenes, behind the curtains of what was going on with all of this. I had told the speaker and told leadership, listen, I was leaning no. This immigration issues, it's a priority for me. I know that we weren't going to be able to stop it until the Republican Senate gets there. Harry Reid will never sign on, so it doesn't matter what I want. It wasn't really going to happen. But what I did get, Dave, and I disagree with the part that it's not going to happen. I believe it will. And in my discussions late last night with Speaker Boehner in his office, I told the speaker my problem, and I have gotten his assurance and his commitment that I will be sitting at the table forming our immigration policy when we come back in January. That's pretty important, Dave, from a small-town mayor who first brought this issue up nationally and put a spotlight on this issue nationally, to go from that, to be able to form our immigration policy when we come back in January. And that was followed up by the whip telling me to begin to form what I want in this immigration bill. That the speaker meant what he said. He has given me his word. We were talking about a Mulvaney amendment, and basically what that will do, Dave, it will pinpoint and target every part of the funding that the president will use for his executive action. So we'll be able to go back and pinpoint and target, like a laser, where this president's going to try to spend money on this executive action. The fact that I'm going to be there at that table and seeing exactly what's going on, not hearing it secondhand, I think is pretty important for me and pretty important for those who supported the stances that I've taken on immigration, to be able to form some of our immigration policies. Lets me sleep a little better at night, because I know I'm going to be at the table hearing, listening, and having input into what policy we're going to pass. So that was pretty important to me when I had to weigh this out. Do I vote no for something that I'm not going to get anyway, or do I actually have an opportunity to form America's immigration policies? That's what I've been striving for, Dave. You know the way I am. Nobody should ever question where I stand on illegal immigration.
Congressman Barletta, if you actually do get to formulate America's immigration policy, I know we're in good hands. Here's my concern. It seems to me like you just got promised something that you've been working so hard for all these years, but in exchange for that, you have to give your support to Boehner as the speaker. And, the biggest question I got after why did he do it for you was, what do we have to do to make sure John Boehner isn't the Speaker of the House? Does that mean you'll be voting for Speaker Boehner?
Well, I don't think there's going to be any question, Dave. Honestly, I don't see there being anyone that's going to get enough votes to overtake him. Honestly, talking to my colleagues, even our more conservative members, I don't see anybody that's really going to challenge him on that. So, it's really a moot point. If I felt that there was actually a race, but I don't see it. I don't see anyone even. It's just not happening.
Congressman Barletta,
I'm telling you what I'm hearing firsthand. So it was just like the vote last night, Dave. I would love to have, made a point and voted against this because of my position on immigration. But the reality is, Harry Reid will never bring this up, and until he's gone, and he's gone in a couple of weeks, I'm a very patient man.
Congressman,
I've been fighting this for a long time. I can wait 3 more weeks.
Congressman, what should your constituents look for in the coming year as a test for whether or not this was the right decision?
Well, we're going to see, and I'm going to, Dave, I'm a straight shooter when it comes to what I think is happening and what I see happening in Washington. I'm going to be in that room, and I'm going to be seeing and hearing what the speaker's saying, what he's doing, whether he's sincere or not. I'm not going to hear it secondhand from someone, and I've got to make a decision whether it's BS or whether it's the truth. I'm going to be at that table. And this is what I wanted to do. I wanted to form some of our policies. I feel very strongly that this is an attack on the American worker. It's an attack on our national security. I saw it as a mayor, and to be able to have input into that policy. And if I see something that's wrong, I'm going to know it's wrong because I'm going to see it and hear it with my own ears and see it with my own eyes. So I feel this is a good thing for those who want our country to take a position on illegal immigration. The fact that they're going to put Lou Barletta at that table making that policy, at least for me, is a step that the speaker is committing to handling this issue. He found out firsthand how important this issue is to the American people. Trust me.
So the other part of that, of course, that your constituents want to know, and I certainly want to know, is will you blow the whistle? If it's not going in the right direction, will you blow the whistle?
Well, when it comes, I have no reason not to. That's how important this is to me. I have no reason not to. I want us to do the right thing. We need to do the right thing, and we need to do it immediately. I talked to Chairman McCall on Homeland Security and told him that I'm serious about a real border security bill. A real border security bill, not some camouflage to try to fool the American people. And I'm on that committee, too. And I've blown the whistle when I didn't think that we were being honest with the American people. I have no reason not to, Dave. I didn't go there to make friends. I went there to do things that I believe are right for our country.
You certainly have, on the issue of immigration, you certainly have always blown the whistle in the past. Congressman, thank you so much for taking our call and talking to your constituents about your vote last night.
No, thank you very much, Dave. I appreciate it.
Folks, travel safely, Congressman. Folks, it's Congressman Lou Barletta.